Okay, Breanna, I've had a look at your draft. You'll see that I've highlighted some in yellow and some in red. Generally, the yellow is assessment criteria or ideas, and red is word choice or grammar or just mistakes. And I don't know that I agree with your wording of the title, Copious Amounts of Wealth. I think just refer to it as excessive materialism. Just keeps it more concise. Now, your titles need to be either in italics or inverted commas, and I really don't think I need to be reminding everybody of this. Now, again, just change this to excessive materialism and wealth lead to moral decay, or pursuit of excessive materialism of wealth. I've just tidied up a few things here. Now, when you say the film, just remember that you are foregrounding your understanding that it's the authors of the text that use techniques to convey their ideas. So just say the director or Scorsese reveals perhaps the effects that money and materialism can have on people through the romance of Gatsby and Jane. Now, in your introduction, why are you going into detail of the novel? You need to save your words. Now, you've said the 2014 film, but you haven't. So you have said that here when you say an insightful look, well, we've talked about it being a scathing criticism, so why don't you just use that? Roaring Twenties needs to be written out in full and needs capital letters. So, The Wolf of Wall Street follows the real life story of Jordan Belfort Crupscott, who made his millions. Now, he didn't make his millions through a life of debauchery and excess. He made his millions and indulged in a life of debauchery and excess. The film displays, again, just foreground the author or the director. American Dream, you don't need a capital letter for dream. As Jordan's, now don't refer to him as Jordan, refer to him as Belfort. Deep immersion into money and drugs leads him down a bleak path of addiction and infidelity. Well, I think you could, you touch on later in your first main body paragraph that in a way both protagonists are addicted in some way or another. So he becomes addicted to drugs and the debauched lifestyle, while Gatsby, you could say, is addicted to his pursuit of Daisy because he pursues her at any cost. So you have a think about that. Now, your main body paragraph. Now, here you're doing better. You're foregrounding the creators of the texts, so that's good. Display, I think it's better to say reveal how the goal of the American dream is pursued through the means of wealth and gaining materialistic items. You just need to watch your editing here. Your expression isn't really very clear. Display or reveal how the original ideals of the American dream have been corrupted through excessive or through pursuit of excessive wealth and materialism rather than hard work and determination. Now, you say this results in a society where moral decay, infidelity and drugs are at its peak, but you have to be careful here because you've said both Scorsese and Fitzgerald, and that drugs aren't in The Great Gatsby, so you need to tidy this up. Now here you say Scorsese shows the value that people on material through the character of Jordan. Now what I think you need to do is rather than is in your topic sentence here, say both Scorsese and Fitzgerald use their central characters to show the value that people on materialism, that the value to show the results or to show the degradation that occurs when people put too much value on materialism. So I want you to interweave your comparison. At the moment you're blocking, you're talking about Scorsese, then you're going on to Fitzgerald. Remember back to the two boyfriends. I want you to interweave in your topic sentence. Then you go on to talk about Scorsese and then similarly Fitzgerald. Now just watch I hear you said this shows how people's lives can be guarded by money, almost as though it was a drug to be addicted to. Just tidy that up. Jordan Belfort's life becomes consumed with his obsession, his greed for more money, to the extent that it becomes a dangerous addiction. Similarly, now here, uses characterization through the character of Gatsby, so you just need to tidy that up. And here you said addiction to the accumulation of money can lead to moral decay. But his addiction isn't to the accumulation of money, remember. His addiction is to the pursuit of his dream, which is to win Daisy. And that results in his determination to accumulate vast amounts of money. And why he resorts to moral corruption, because he wants to win her at any cost. So they each have a flawed character, but in slightly different ways. So you need to show your understanding of that. Now what I will say, I need to go back here. You need to have a few more film techniques inserted here. So you have to say that Scorsese uses dialogue to make the connection between drugs, the addiction of money and the connection between drugs and money. As Gatsby attempts. So here you need to insert some evidence, don't you, from the how does he evidence to support what you've said, that he uses Gatsby to show an addiction to accumulative can lead to moral decay. So you have to show that he's achieved it through corrupt means. Now you're sort of resorting a little bit to retelling, unless you support it with evidence, or just sprinkle evidence throughout. And here you say, however, in contrast, Jordan was seeking wealth for personal gain whilst Gatsby was attempting. But it's not, however, in contrast. You're saying, or I've put in, however, it's not in contrast. Or hang on. You could say, however, hang on, I'm getting confused here. However, in contrast, while Scorsese's protagonist is seeking wealth purely for personal gain and greed, Gatsby is a more hopeful character because he was doing it for more honourable means. So that's a difference between how we feel. Now remember, compare the way your question is, how do two positions that we feel negative the effects of excessive materialism on society? Well, Jordan is pursuing it for personal greed, so we don't like him, but Gatsby is doing it for the more noble ideals of love, and therefore we do sympathise with him more, and it's his tragic death that positions us to feel so negatively about the society that has brought about this death. So you need to do a little bit of tidying up of your ideas here. Okay, Breanna?